we're going to get Steve Adubato on the phone, and he is a dear friend, but now we're talking politics. Mr. Adubato, Steve, my friend, how are you this morning?
How's my man Joe Piscopo?
We're having a ball, man. I know you come on the station here. This is great. It's a little early. I just, me, I'm a nightclub guy. I just stay up all night and come in the morning, but I'm having a blast with Frank and Alan. Steve, you know what? We have immense respect for you, for your political outtake, and for all the good that you do for the great state of New Jersey. So thanks for joining us this morning.
That's kind of you, and it's very smart of the station to have you on in the morning, Joe.
Thanks.
I just let you know I have my makeup on to be on the radio right now.
Yeah. I had such a good time, man. I want to ask you about the governor, but we had such a good time on your show. You're so good, and you shot it at that beautiful facility at NJPAC, the gorgeous Performing Arts Center in Newark, New Jersey. And you and your dad, I tell you, you're so committed to the great city of Newark and the great state. And I'll tell you that you had all the lights. That's like big time show business, and we had a ball.
What am I, schlepping around? Yeah, I got a big time show on TBS. But I got to plug. See, Joe,
Go.
Me and you, we plug. I'm actually doing Fox 5 in just a few minutes after I get off with you, with Greg and Rosanna talking about the only subject that matters right now, which is Chris Christie and the situation. And but I want to take a few minutes with you and the guys.
Thank you. And do me a favor, Steve, if you would tell Greg and Rosanna said Piscopo said hi. He's on the radio. It's a love fest. It's New York, baby. It's Jersey, baby. Steve, I know you and I are lifelong Dems, man. And I say that I'm a Kennedy Democrat. I always say I'm a Ronald Reagan Democrat. But I tell you, yes, right down the middle. But I tell you what, the way you handle Governor Christie when you interview him, and it seems like you're the only guy he goes to, man. We're waiting for the exclusive Steve Adubato interview. What is your take on this whole Bridgegate matter?
First of all, I want to make it clear that while I've had some real intense conversations with the governor over the years, both on and air and off, where he's disagreed with what I said, and I have challenged some things that he has said. I have tremendous respect for the governor. I take him at his word, Joe. I believe what he said yesterday. That does not mean in any way that I think this thing is over. It does not mean that I think that every question is answered, but I believe the governor. For those who do not, here's what they don't get. Governor Christie is smart. He does not name Bill Stepien, his political campaign manager in the campaign. He does not name him chairman of the Republican State Committee. He does not name him to be his point person with the Republican National Governors Association. Just a few days ago, if he knows that he's going to have to fire Bill Stepien because of this situation, that's stupid. Chris Christie's not stupid. And so the point is, should he have been closer connected to the situation, been more aware, jumped on it sooner? Yes. He admitted that he should have taken responsibility. He admitted that he's embarrassed. He admitted that he's ashamed. He admitted that heads needed to roll, and he did it. I don't know. Did that happen in Benghazi? Did that happen with the IRS? Did that happen with Obamacare? I don't know. Kathleen Sebelius seems to me is still collecting a check from the federal government. My point is this. Chris Christie's not perfect. Mistakes were made. He owned it, took it on. It's going to continue the investigation. But yesterday he took a big step, Joe Piscopo, in my opinion, and I have respect for what he did, but it's a long way from being over.
Listening to Steve Adubato on AM970, The Answer, with Joe Piscopo, with Frank Morano and Al Gattullo. And Frank Morano, my dear friend Steve Adubato, said that exact same thing. But this, and I also, and I will reiterate this constantly, this is not Elliot Spitzer with hookers. This is not Benghazi. This just seems so slight. The only question I would have, and looking to you for an answer, Steve Adubato, is this: Governor Christie knows everything at all times. He is so connected with the people of New Jersey, and I can't understand why Bridget Kelly's not going to be there with a BlackBerry in her hand saying, Governor, we're shutting these lanes down. So just an aside, is something going to surface? Is there a smoking gun in this, Steve Adubato?
Look, am I sitting there going, who the heck is Bridget Kelly to do something like that as Deputy Chief of Staff? Yeah. It strains credibility. There's a part of me that's concerned about that. But I'll tell you what, there's a chance that she, in fact, did what she did. If she lied to the governor, as the governor said, and again, I take him at his word, then I got to tell you something. I can't figure out how the heck she does that. Calls David Wildstein, who's a guy over the Port Authority, and gets this done. I argue that a lot of questions have to be asked, and more importantly, straight answers have to be given. If the governor is guilty of anything, he's guilty of trusting his staff too much, not pressing enough to get more direct answers the way he should have. But he acknowledged, Joe, that he is responsible. He acknowledged that he should have been more engaged. He acknowledged that he's doing a lot of soul searching.
Yeah.
So my point is this. If, by the way, if I'm wrong and the governor is not telling the truth, then forget about me being duped by him. Then it's over. Then it's over for the governor and everyone else who believes in him.
Yeah, but I bought it, too. I bought the press conference. I thought he was great. I know him. I've had the privilege of talking with this good governor. So smart. He's such a smart man, and he's done so good and really stands out for the state. Do you think this don't you think, and I was talking with Frank and Al here, Steve, that this seems to be just an attack on the superstar for the GOP, the guy that can run away with this whole thing. Yeah, I'm thinking that's what this is all about.
No, it's not all about that because this was screwed up. Listen, let's not kid ourselves. Do some want to see the governor get taken down? Yes. But the fact is this was screwed up. They should have jumped on this sooner, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
This should never have been made a joke from the beginning. The governor shouldn't have made those jokes the way he did, and he knows that, and he said that. He would not have made those jokes, shouldn't have made those jokes about I moved the cones. But the fact is those investigations are legitimate. The federal government doesn't jump in, and the U.S. attorney doesn't jump in unless he thinks it's legitimate. Now, the fact is, they need to get answers. I do not believe that the most people that are trying to find out answers are trying to get the governor. Do I think some Democrats are trying to do that? Absolutely. Why? Because he's been kicking their butts for the last 4 years. The fact is you have to separate those who are trying to get straight answers from those who are trying to get Chris Christie's blood. And for some of us who are straight-up journalists who happen to like the governor but still ask him tough questions, our job is to ask tough questions, get the answers, follow up when you don't think we get straight answers, and try to be fair. Look, not perfect, not a perfect governor, not a perfect human being. But I'll tell you what, compare that to Barack Obama, who blamed the Internet and the fact that too many people wanted health care for the thing getting screwed up for 3 months before he admitted that it was him. And Kathleen Sebelius is still there. Benghazi, you tell me what happened. My point is, Christie takes responsibility. Some heads rolled, including his number one political guy, and I think more heads are going to roll. In the end, he's responsible, Joe. Let's not kid ourselves, and he owned it. That's better than what most political leaders do.
Steve, out about it. We're going to let you go, but we were talking. I don't see the bully factor. Do you think the governor's a bully? I see it all as Jersey with a Jersey attitude. Are you feeling bully from Chris Christie, Steve Adubato?
Bully, no, but attitude, definitely, Joe, and some people get turned off by it. By the way, Joe, before I go, I'm running to Fox 5. I got to tell people one more thing about you.
Go.
You're in the Hall of Fame. You're going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame in just a couple weeks.
Yes, sir.
We're going to have a great event at the Newark Museum. You're not going to tell people, but I'll tell people, Joe. I'm hosting the event. I'm proud of you. That's why, because you don't brag. I'll see you at the Hall of Fame, my man.
We look forward to you running that whole thing. Steve Adubato, thank you for joining us on AM 970, The Answer. PBS anchor, former New Jersey state legislator, author of the book, What Were They Thinking? My dear friend, Steve Adubato. Thank you, Steve, for taking the time.